Hey there, and welcome to the People Who Help People podcast. This is the spot for HR and people ops pros who are all about building better businesses by putting people first. We chat with founders and experts who've been there, done that, and are generous enough to share what actually works. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hello again. Today I'm happy to be speaking with Marie Ampeloquio, CEO, and Randy Lobiano, Chief Operating Officer at Radix HR, about the why and the way, partnering effectively to help clients move from something measurable to something describable. Founded in March of 2020 as EBI Solutions, Radix HR is an end-to-end HR hub that carries and delivers human plus technology solutions. Welcome to the podcast, Marie and Randy.
Thank you. Thank you, Craig, for having us.
Thanks,
It's a
Craig.
pleasure.
Happy to be
It's
here.
my pleasure. Marie, let's start with you.
Mhm.
You founded the company in
Mhm.
March of 2020. Tell us about that story. Tell us about what led to founding this company.
Yes, thank you. So it was, I have been in the corporate world for quite a bit. And at that point, COVID was just about to start. And for selfish reasons, I really wanted to spend time. I have an opportunity in the United States for another role, but that didn't come to fruition because of the advent of COVID, and that allowed me to spend time with my family. But at that point, my brother-in-law called me because there were a lot of inquiries during that particular time when there was a huge lockdown here in Manila, Philippines, and people didn't know exactly what to do. So at that point, Craig, we thought before calling Randy for an opportunity to partner and co-found this organization, I thought that we would be the company to serve the underserved during that particular period in time.
Okay. Serve the underserved. And that brings up a great point. You're talking to us today from Manila. Randy, where are you based?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Okay. And Randy, what's your point of view on this partnership and co-founding opportunity?
Well, I think it was a happy accident that's what happened. Prior joining Radix, I am an entrepreneur, a sole proprietor in wedding industry as a photographer and a storyteller. So for 15 years, I've been out of the corporate world. I retired early in the corporate world until pandemic hits, and then there was one day, Marie called me and sell me the dream of ask me if I want to be part of something that you've mentioned, Marie, to serve the underserved. And specifically, I remember told her, um, I don't know, I'm out for quite a while. I don't know if I can still. I don't know the technical jargons already, but uh, yeah, but she told me, but you've been managing a business, so I think that's fair enough already. So I took the challenge. I challenged myself as well, and then the rest is history. And this is my longest stint in a corporate world until now, up to date.
So, Randy, a little bit more of your story. Did you start out in the role of chief operating officer, or did you have a different role when you first co-founded?
Yeah, I started as a technical recruiter because that's my background. A solid U.S. technical recruiter. So in the talent acquisition department, we started a company. We are only four at that time. So we're doing multiple and triple hatting. I was the marketing, I was the creative, but a lot of big chunk of it is talent acquisition. So and then I moved to a strategist
Mm.
with the pricing, and then next is yeah the COO role right now.
Okay, good journey. And Marie, tell us more. You started with a different name, and so tell us about that name, and then the journey to rebranding.
Yes, you know, at that time, I wasn't very particular about the name. I just wanted to make sure that it provides the audience or the clientele that we're trying to target, a sense of belongingness to a community. So when we pitched for any form of service, we would say it was a common discussion like, what does EBI mean? So E is for elevate, electronic, employee, engagement, anything that's positive. And then BI, we said we'd keep it because that's where the action is, which is business impact. So it's meant to be business impact solutions organization for employee. But later on, it was mispronounced many times to EBI, EBI, and whatnot. And there is a funny thing that ebi in Japanese actually shrimp. So our employee said, "Hey, Marie, maybe we'd consider changing it." So we did a rebranding exercise and found ourselves this new name, which I think fits very well the kind of solutions that we create for customers, which is now Radix HR.
Terrific. So from EBI, elevating business impact, I like that because I have impact in the name of my company as well, amplify impact, to Radix HR. So Randy, a moment ago, I heard you're a storyteller. Tell us the story of Radix. Why does Radix make sense?
The story behind Radix is we are in the world of numbers, targets, competition. We had a deep conversation with Marie. I told her, can we take ourselves out on that particular realm? Can we not check our competitors as competition? We check the numbers. What is deeper than what we see in the papers, in the documents? What a stronger guardrails or um, company playbook means? Because in the world of human capital, we're taking away the first word. So before business, and again, as an entrepreneur, people is business and business is people. Simple as that for
Mhm.
me. So instead of the competition, we would like collaboration. We're trying to reframe and redefine the meaning of growing. Not all growth are a step ladder type. Not all growth is growing big. What if we really be thoughtful about it? That sometimes, or maybe the more effective way is growing deep, because deepening the roots and strengthening the roots, the fruit would be easier to. It'll be more fruitful in a sense.
Mhm. Mhm.
So for me, that's the story of Radix. It's a growing deep paradigm, strengthening your roots. Take it as a no competition, but it's always competition. It's at the bottom. It's all, if you want to be at the top, you need to collaborate with because human needs human. So to simplify it. So yeah.
I like that. I like the paradigm of deepening your roots. It'll give us richer fruits and putting the human back in human capital management. So Marie, what does Radix specialize in? You've been in business for a number of years now, and
Yes.
you've had some time to define yourself and to move beyond serving the underserved to some core offerings. So could you talk to us about your core offerings?
The core offerings, so we have three areas that we feel we are able to help our customers. As Randy was saying earlier, we do not see ourselves really as an HR company, but a company that is more in the business transformation through human capital. So we have talent acquisition, and it always acts, Craig, as our foot in the door for many of our client wins and transactions. Then it expands to HR services, which is wide and deep because that includes organizational diagnostics, organizational development. It includes leadership coaching and mentoring, even as simple as some companies in the Philippines, because the pandemic has been out in the last almost 3 years. They are now setting up their small businesses, and we have been their arm to help them with as simple as aligning their policies and procedures attuned to the Department of Labor and Employment guidance here in the Philippines. Another area of deep concern is well-being. So well-being is something that we're very huge in. We have a lot of licensed psychologists and licensed guidance counselors And we have a couple of clients that have used them, not only because it was required by law, but because it has they have been acting as a huge retention for their workforce.
Got it. So, Randy, I heard Marie talk frequently about companies in the Philippines. You're based in Los Angeles. Is all of your business in the Philippines, or is there a mix?
Yeah, it's a mix. We have a couple of global company that we work with, but most of it are the mother or the headquarters would be here in America, but there's a sub headquarters in Asia or in Manila, and I act as a point of contact if any concerns within that organization that has a headquarters here in the U.S. Specifically. We have a couple of clients in the East Coast and a couple of here in the West Coast too. So yeah, it's a mix, but the ratio would be, of course, Manila or the Philippines would be always be bigger in the number in terms of ratio.
Okay, I'm going to flip the order. We're going to talk about the why and the way. So I
Mm-hmm.
believe the why is Randy and the way is Marie. So Randy, why are you, or actually maybe I'll flip it around. Marie, why is Randy the why? And then Randy, you're going to get to say why Marie is the way.
All right. No, I
Sure.
like the way you flip this,
Yeah.
Craig. But rightfully so. The beauty with working together as co-founders is that along the way we found each other's strength. Not only did he started with talent acquisition, then found his way in strategy. He's like a solutions architect, but not in the technical IT realm, but more in the framework designing for solutions for organizations, where before he designs anything in his head as a framework for any client problem, always number one question is, what is the end of the tunnel for you? What is the why are we doing this? And so by answering that question, it allows the two of us to blend together the why and way process that we have. Without the why, it's hard to transcend and pick up the steps towards the end goal. So that's why the why becomes very important.
Good. So Randy the storyteller, Randy the one who's great at spotting the story to be told or the story that's evolving, keeps the client focused on the why of the transformation.
Yes.
Randy, how does Marie compliment you with the way?
Okay, because again, when we talk about the why and the way, we're really talking about how leaders and organizations can partner more meaningfully. So not just to measure progress, but to describe it in human terms. So
Mhm.
the way is what most of us are familiar with. It's the structure, it's the systems, and the technical guardrails of human capital. So those are the policies, the metrics, the governance, all the things that really keep an organization aligned and accountable. So, and again, I'll speak the holistic way. The why is but the why, that's where the leadership really becomes human, as you may speak. It's the intention behind every action. It's the care behind every decision. So it is that space that we call in between, where a thoughtful leader doesn't just implement strategy, but to really connects it with empathy. We always want to make sure that people aren't just performing here, but they're actually growing. So when we bring those two together, the structure of the way, and how do we say this, the soul of the why, that's when we help clients move from something merely measurable to something truly describable, because numbers can tell us how we're doing, but the why tells us who we're becoming. So I think to really encapsulate the question.
Mhm.
Randy, I think that's an excellent answer to the subtopic which is moving from something measurable to something describable. And
Mhm.
what I heard when we did our call in advance was Marie said something very important. After Randy locks in on the why, I read from, I think you said from the first word to the last period.
To the
Why
period.
is that, Marie?
So, Craig, we don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So, the soul of our credibility and the way we lock in our accountability to our customers is ensuring that everything that we said from the first letter of that document to the last period has actually showcased the agreed solutions and more, and that the desired outcome is really within reach. We are not definitely by any means a magic one, but certainly we want our customers to feel that the solutions are impeccably designed for them. It's not a solution for 100 small to medium sized companies. It's really a solution for that particular company. So you will not find any two solutions the same, because we really made sure that we customized it in accordance to the problem that they have. And so the heart and soul of that solution comes from the fact that whatever Randy designs, and many a times he's very aspirational, he's very passionate about giving the right solution to customers, and I love that. However, we always find the balance of ensuring that, okay, Randy, when we say this particular framework is required, or this particular psychological test is needed, or this specific action step, or this particular, shall we say, head count or structure or KPI is something that will actually drill down to the steps leading to their solution. I want to make sure that it is highly doable and executionable. So that's why I make sure that I read from the very first letter of his document to the last period of that same document.
So it sounds like, again, you're complementing each other well. You're partnering well. Randy driving for the soul, but you're also making sure that as a business we're delivering what we promise, and that it's deliverable, and that we exceed our clients' expectations with everything that we outline along the way. So it sounds like a great balance between you both.
That's yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It is. It is.
Yeah,
Randy, you were going to say.
yeah, that's correct. It really balances the logic and the empathy. So to simply put, yeah, the way gets things done right, but the why makes us sure we're doing the right things. So
So, Randy, tell me a story of a recent client engagement
Mm.
where you helped them visualize, embrace, and own the why. There's something describable. What comes to mind?
Whenever we want to commit in a program or project to be delivered,
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, like for me, from my background in weddings, which is we cannot repeat, it will always be there first. It will always be there first. So it's the first time done right on my end. So whenever I approach weddings before, up until now, I want to make sure it's not how do they look, uh, how beautiful they are after the wedding. When they take a look of my portfolio and the album that I gave to them, it's supposed to be how it felt that day, to remember how it felt that day. So I want to make sure it's more than a compliance. So in the business side, I want to turn the compliance into a commitment. It's always like people understand why something matters. Again, on my end, which I always share to Marie and the rest of the group, it's beyond KPIs and scorecards. It should be connected emotionally, because connection really transforms compliance. It's doing something because they have to, uh, into commitment, which is doing something because they believe in it. So in this scenario with the client, they don't just adopt in a new process, but at the end of the program, what they embrace is a new mindset. So it moved clients from a transactional to transformational. That's why we don't call ourselves anymore an HR company, but to really not to improve companies, but to evolve them again from that measurable to describable. So
Mhm.
Terrific. Marie, what would you add to that?
So you can see that I'm egging to also jump in because a number of the solutions that we've had, and more recently there is a story we want to share where a local company formulated by friends. The co-founders are all what we call, I think, college buddies, and that was a decade ago. The first set of action is really the first order of the day is to ensure that the business, it's a tech company, and they wanted to make sure that the that particular company flourishes from a revenue standpoint. So from nearly 30 employees, they're now 150, and they have designed tools that are really meant to be used primarily in other countries, in the United States primarily. They went to us with a statement. Their end statement is, we want to globalize our organization. But we told them, in all honesty, that the way they are doing their business right now would have to amp their playing field, because the DNA required, the communication platform, the kind of talent they will need for the future would actually be very different from where they are right now, to the point where Mr. Randy over here, Randy designed a solution where he akined where they are right now as rock stars. They're playing heavy metal music. They are they are making good music, but loud at that, but no one will know if you're off key. So the solution of Randy to put them in a global playing field is to solidify the roadmap leading to the global stage, which is the orchestra, where in an orchestra, it is still loud music. Everybody's playing together, but you now can hear if anybody is off tune. So in that regard, that means your guardrails need to be strong, policy and procedures, your compliance element, data privacy, and all the bells and whistles that will make your customer confident that you can run their business well is something that they have to focus on, which they did. So we did a couple of exercises with them that allowed them to see the steps. And in fact, the beauty is, we're meeting them again very soon with yet again, hopefully, another proposition on the next stage of that particular story. Hopefully that evolves into yet another storyboard in sometime soon when we meet again.
And Randy, I can tell you're dying to jump in here. So I don't even have a follow-up question other than, Randy, you're nodding your head.
no, yeah,
Tell
yeah.
me more. Tell me
Again,
more.
going back, I want to circle back to the why and the way into that particular client, because they are a technical company. So I made sure that it humanizes the technical.
Hmm.
Because again, we're gonna go back to every solution has technical guardrails, system audits, the frameworks. That's the way. But again, the why, it really ensures that those guardrails protect people, not to limit them. So it brings compassion and intention to the structure, making transformation both systematic but soulful in a sense. The output is always to end up in a legacy. So we want to build a partnership to have a legacy, not dependency. We want to help clients see the why behind the way,
Mhm.
to really empower them to lead from within. So they would no longer depend on external consultants to fix things, as you say, but for them to really learn and sustain alignment on their own. Um,
Mhm.
for me, that's real partnership. It's really co-creating solutions that client can live, not just implement.
I understand it better now. You start with the why. You start with the, not just we want to grow into more countries, or we want to broaden, or we want to just frankly grow in measurable ways.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
But the way that puts people back into the equation, those guardrails are around human growth and growth along that journey. And I really like the way you capped it off, Randy, with this isn't a dependency on us as consultants as much as a legacy of our partnership, that the people feel different along the way, and they know that they were in the center of this transformation.
Mhm.
Very well said. I think I like that.
Absolutely.
Marie, I want to bring back to you. Serving the underserved. That's where you started.
Yes.
Is that still core to what you do today, or how have you grown with and beyond that?
Wow. I mean, you're taking us back 5 years from where we are right now. And I kid you not, the kind of organizations we dealt with are family businesses. And I don't know if the story of the Philippines right now is that there are family businesses, especially hit by COVID, where they have they used up all their money for that particular business, and they just needed a push, a kind push to the right direction to get them up and running again. Or, for example, we have a couple of small to medium sized restaurants where they had to let go of a number of people because of the shutdown. So they didn't know how else to kind of manage serving the food requirement of the environment of the community they live in without those individuals whose salaries are not available because of the lockdown. Or a company that is actually global, but they didn't have any other way to kind of engage their people, which are 100% online. All that we experienced and we guided them through during that particular time. We energized a couple of souls, and gave them hope that a lot of these things are highly doable. So yes, we are still in the realm of serving the underserved. Randy and I grew up in organizations that have the money and the wherewithal to actually push their agenda forward. And some of the companies we've dealt with or we're dealing with only have a couple of hundreds of thousands that they can spare to actually hire our services. But it actually is the spark or kind push that they need to be where they are right now. And we're very, very glad. One of the kinder outcome that we have experienced is that, one, we haven't lost a customer. I mean, we've completed all contracts. We haven't had a customer attrition. So that speaks volumes about the respect that we have for each other's uh, uh, deliverables, or where they want to reach. But we do have along the way, because along the way now we have, I guess, Fortune 1000 companies that are in our portfolio. It's a happy accident as well because of people that we've worked with in the past who believe that we are the team of people that can actually push for the end state deliverable that they're asking for. So it's now a combination, Craig, of, yes, still some underserved organizations that we're happy to continue to serve, but along the way we've earned a couple of good brands as well. So there, I think that's where we are at this moment.
Marie, I love that evolution of the company from where you started to where you are today, and now looking towards the future. Randy, this is the longest that you've stayed with one organization, so it's obvious that the two of you have formed a partnership that is central to the success of Radix, and I'm interested in how you see that partnership going forward. Very specifically, Marie asked me to ask you, how long do you think you're going to stick around? No, she didn't. Um, but seriously,
Thank you, Craig.
you two it seems like you complemented each other well. Randy, what keeps you coming back? What keeps you engaged and wanting to do this for a little while longer?
Okay. I always tell this to Marie. I had couple of offers within the last 2 years since I migrated here in the US. There could be 1,000 reasons for me to go accept those offers, but I always tell Marie I just need one reason to stay. I can just tell one reason to stay. It's only because for me the question of what's next. If there's one thing in terms of the why and the way remind us, I guess
Mhm.
it's that transformation doesn't end with insight, but it always begins with intention. For leaders like us, for HR partners, and the organizations that could be listening to, um, the the next step is to pause and ask yourselves to, like, do our systems reflect the people we say we care about? Do our guardrails support growth, or do they limit it? Or are we leading with the process, or are we leading with the purpose? So let's ask ourselves. So when we started the organization, it's always, we started small, and it always began by revisiting the why behind
Mm-hmm.
the things you measure: your policies, your performance metrics, your culture programs. Again, because when you reconnect the purpose behind the process, that's when growth becomes sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's simple, like grow deep before you grow fast. Anchor every change in intention, and just to where I always remind myself to remember, the way will show you how to move forward, but the why will always remind you why it matters. Because when leaders lead with both, they just won't solve problems. It would shape people. And
Mm-hmm.
again, for me, that's the real transformation worth building. And for me, worth staying in the organization, so to speak.
Perfect. Let's close
That's,
on that.
yeah.
It will shape
Love that.
people. Sounds like you both together have a strong legacy of helping organizations find their why, find their way, and to shape people, help them grow deep with intention along the way. Very good. Okay. Marie and Randy, I've enjoyed this conversation today. If others have heard something that they'd like to follow up with, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
So we're both on our LinkedIn
Okay.
for both Marie Ampeloquio and Randy Lobiano, and also we have our email addresses.
Make sure I share those below this podcast episode. Thank you both. Great to speak with you both. Thank you for your time today.
You too.
Pleasure, Craig. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
you.
Craig.
Thank you.